Hi everyone, this is Blair with World Cruises and Travel, and I just got off a 3-night cruise on Royal Caribbean's Freedom of the Seas, and I wanted to share my experience with you. One of the things I'm happy about is the way they did everything on board the ship. I admit I was a bit apprehensive that the reality of the hype about the precautions that they had to take and while still having a great cruise experience, I was afraid it wouldn't meet my expectation, but I'm happy to say that it did. So let me walk you through the process. We were greeted in the Miami terminal by a very nice gentleman by the name of Jose, who explained the whole process to me. And everybody has to wear masks, even though 95% of the passengers and 100% of the crew are required to be vaccinated. So your check-in actually begins with your Royal Caribbean app. Before you get on board, you have to fill out a health questionnaire, put in your vaccine card or your negative PCR test, just to get a head start on everything before you get on board. When you actually get to the terminal, there's a check-in. It's a check-in before the regular check-in you're used to, and they double check your health questionnaire and your vaccination card. If you're unvaccinated, you do have to show proof of a negative COVID test, a PCR test. If you haven't done it before you get there, you can do it when you're there. However, it's going to cost you $130, so it really pays for you to do it ahead of time. Then you're given a wristband. See, mine's purple. I got vaccinated. That you wear as you go throughout the ship. When you finally get on board, you do have to stop at the muster station. It's a very quick stop because actually on the app, it goes through a virtual muster. So it's just a quick stop so you know where your muster station is. They say a few things to you and you're on your way. It's not crowded. It's not what you're used to. It's very quick and there's no people around. So it's a 3-night cruise. So we brought our luggage on board. We didn't have very much. But if you decide to have them bring your luggage to your cabin, they do sanitize it ahead of time. There was lots of physical distancing on board. We've been physical distancing for a year and a half, so it seemed normal. There were marks on the floor like you used to see in the grocery store. There was a sign on the elevator saying only 4 people allowed in the elevator. The tables were spaced, and there were signs on them saying this table's not available. So it was very much like what we're used to. One of the things that I thought was really nice, though, is that the waiters and all of the people that work on Royal Caribbean had to wear masks. So what they did is they have buttons that they wore, and you can see what their faces look like underneath the mask. And I thought that was a really nice touch. The ship, Freedom of the Seas, is capable of holding just shy of 4,500 people. We sailed, there were 1,800 passengers on board, and it was nice. You don't have all the crowds. There's not long lines that you're used to with these big ships. So my suggestion is if you're interested in sailing, do it in 2021, because I believe by 2022 there's going to be much more capacity on board. And the deals are good now, too. The dining in the large venues like the main dining room and the Windjammer buffet, they tend to be noisy and crowded. Again, because of limited capacity, it wasn't. It was a really nice experience. It was very tranquil. The service was stellar because they had so few people. And we had the luxury of space. Now, they had one dining room designated specifically to people that had been vaccinated. They had another dining room for people that had not been vaccinated. And that included families with small children that were too young to be vaccinated. And as far as the Windjammer buffet, like the buffets back home, there's no more self-serve. They serve it for you. So everything is very clean and they're cautious for you. I thought the food was really good. I've never been in love with Royal Caribbean food, and it seemed like they made a big improvement. They were even able to accommodate my gluten-free requests. One thing I did notice was the specialty dining prices have increased. We decided to splurge and go to Chops for one night. It was $49.99 a person, and there was an additional 18% gratuity. So I checked to see what the prices were in 2019, and they were $35. So, I mean, in all fairness, they haven't had any revenue for a year and a half. So the fact that they raised the prices is not really all that surprising. And you know what? It was a really good experience. It was worthwhile. Okay, so how do I feel about traveling and cruising in particular with the Delta variant being all over the place on the news? So I did some research because I wanted to find out like what was news hype and what reality was. And the CDC reported just shy of 6,600 COVID breakthrough cases as of July 26. At that time, more than 163 million people in the U.S. were fully vaccinated against COVID. So what this means is that breakthrough cases for the fully vaccinated population was less than 0.004%. And these are people that were hospitalized, and people that died were 0.001% of the fully vaccinated people. And these were people that had compromised immune systems. So I also discovered, which I thought was really interesting, is that these statistics aren't different for other vaccines. This is normal. I guess you could say naive. I thought that once you got vaccinated, you were vaccinated. There was no more issues. But there is a very slight margin where you can get sick if you're compromised. So I have to say that the vaccine has given me a layer of protection that I feel really comfortable with. And the cruise and tour vendors have put into place protocols, and I think they've done a really good job. They've been under the oversight of the CDC. And I'm very reassured. I'm reassured enough that I'm going to go to Egypt in October, which is something I've dreamed of since I was a child. There's still a little space left if anybody's interested. While the Delta variant is scary, Royal Caribbean took many, many safety precautions that made me feel safe, yet it didn't detract from the cruise experience. I have to say, the name Freedom of the Seas has taken on a whole new meaning for me, and it means freedom to be able to cruise again. So I hope that you will decide to cruise as I did. I know I plan on doing it again because I think you'll be very happy you did. Thank you.